Hello. Hiya. Can you hear me?
Can everybody hear me?
Got you. All right. I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? Hang on. I can't hear you, Dan. Why is that? Audio. Audio. I can hear you. Or something. Hello, Dan?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Right. How does it sound?
Crackly.
Yeah. Bear with me, John. Would you mind coming in for a moment, please, mate? And hold a minute while I get this sorted out. I'll send John the link.
Okay.
Bear with me.
I knew I should have made a coffee. Is it my end or your end?
My end.
Sorry,
My
Dan.
end. Oh, don't you worry. Don't know what the hell's going on. Everything froze out of it. You just get this over. Let me just send this on. Then if you want to start talking, introduce yourself to everybody. Everybody knows you very well. Maybe
okay then. I don't know. I can't see any comments or whoever's on. If anybody, I'll just carry on, shall I?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name's Lyn, the ghost lady of Gloucester. I've been doing paranormal events for, I keep saying 30 years, but it's more like 40 now. I've written 2 books as well. I've done paranormal investigations. I've done all sorts of things. Lots and lots of things have happened to me and to other people that on our investigations. So I'd like to talk to you about any of them. First of all, can you all see and hear me? How will I know this? Right. I've got a message. Thank you, Julie Sankey. We can hear good. Right. A lot of people ask me how I got into the paranormal, which okay, that's a good question. And my answer is always because I'm crazy. No, the years ago, I used to talk to several people in what was the old MSN chat rooms, and we got a group of people up, and I think there was about 150 members in the end, and we all just got talking about our experiences, what's happened, um, investing. Those was very basic, techie like today, and we decided to meet up. We all met up club in Streatham, London, which sadly now is demolished, and it was owned by Fred Batt, who is now with the another team. Was that for me to stop? Oh, I see Dan's finger go up. I thought I had to stop. just do this if I got to stop. Anyway, we met up and we joined this other team afterwards, and we did an investigation of our own, and a few people all around this big nightclub that used to be a type of a ballroom and all sorts of different things. And my friend and I, Nikki, we decided to go up along the balcony at the top. Now, bearing in mind this was absolutely pitch black, apart from the little emergency lights that you have on, even today. And I had a pretty naff camcorder then, but I thought I'll still take it and might pick up some voices, whatever. I don't know. I wasn't very techie then, as I am not now. And I was recording, I had the strap around my shoulder, and she walked on a few hundred yards in front of me, and I just shouted out to her, said, "Are you all right? Can you where was this person seen that haunts up here?" She said, "Oh, about probably up near the where we've not long come up the steps, like stairs and stuff." I said, "Okay, so I think I'm about there." So anyway, I was looking into the viewfinder, filming what I thought was nothing. And then all of a sudden, there was this great big shock that I had. There was this doorway lit up, well lit up. Stood in the doorway was a lady, full blown apparition that I now know. I thought it was one of the team members. So I just looked at her and she went, and I said, what's the problem? She said, "They're doing a seance down there." In case you didn't hear that, it was they're doing a seance down there. I went, "Oh, okay. Sorry about that." So I walked off. Never said a thing, not a word to my friend, caught up with her, never told her anything, which is unusual because when you're on investigations, as we now know, first thing you do is go and tell somebody else or call somebody to see if they can actually see or hear what you're experiencing. So anyway, nothing happened the rest of the night. We were doing our thing around the buildings and whatever. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, I caught the train from London back to Gloucester. Got into bed and I slept for 15 hours. Now, before you say that's lazy, I have got fibromyalgia, which I can sleep for a long time. But also because I was up all night, I was obviously overtired. So 15 hours sleep. I woke up and I was sweating. And I thought, what on earth happened last night? And I thought, I have no idea. No idea. So I tried to piece it through. And I thought, well, I'll ask my friend if she saw or heard anything. And she said, no, absolutely nothing. I said, well, you must have done. You were ahead of me. She said, honestly, no, it was pitch black. That was it. I didn't see or hear anything. So I said, well, that's strange then. And for months and months, I tried to figure out what the hell was happening. And I said to her, you definitely sure? Yes, she said. I said, well, didn't you find anything strange at all? And she said, well, the only thing I did find strange is you went quiet. What does she mean by that? I wonder. I said, okay, right. And she said, other than that, nothing. So I just couldn't think what the heck it was, what happened. So eventually I spoke to a gentleman which was in this other team. And he said, if nobody tried to scare you, nobody set you up, you have seen the ghost of where she haunts of Ruth Ellis. Yes, Ruth Ellis, the last woman in Britain to be hung. She worked in that place, and she worked in the kitchen where I saw the white tiles behind her and stairs going down. And that's where she used to haunt the area. I did not know it was that particular area. I did not ever expect to see her or anyone else. When I looked at my tape, I realised that I'd caught her voice on the videotape, the old VHS. So I had it analysed by experts, and they said you have definitely caught a spirit voice because it has higher octaves than us. So my son put it on the DVD, and I've still got it to this day. I've got her voice. At every time I tell this story, I shiver and the hairs on my arms stand up. Absolutely true story. All the stories I tell you are true. I can't make them up because I've got a terrible memory at times, but only if I remember, and I remember the truth, of course. So that was absolutely amazing.
Can you hear me?
And then I thought, well, okay, why didn't my friends see her? Why was it well lit up? Why didn't anybody else see or hear anything? The only explanation I've had over the years was I must have went into what I call a mini shock. My eyes saw her, my brain didn't function, or the other way round. I just didn't think that it was a ghost. I just thought it was another member of the team. So when I found out all that, and it was her, and I looked at her picture and everything, and the dress that she wore, the top she wore and the skirt she wore, I just saw everything of her. And that's the only explanation. Because if I hadn't have gone home and had those 15 hours sleep, I just think I needed to logically think it out when I woke up. My only worry then is, what if I'd have spoke longer to her, or actually went closer or touched her? Would she have disappeared? Would I have disappeared? I know what I would have done. So that was my very first full-blown apparition, and it had to be that lady, didn't it? Had to be that lady. So there's loads more different things that I've had over the years. I see Dan's back with us now. Hello. Are you okay
Hello.
now?
Yeah, hopefully.
Are you okay now, Dan?
Can you hear me?
Yes, good. Do you want to ask more, or shall I just carry on?
You carry on.
I can hear you.
My green screen's causing issues, so I the same problems I had the other week. So you carry on. I'll say hello very quickly to everybody in the chat, and thank you to everybody for sharing and bearing with me. So David Cox, John Harris, get Dan back on a two-way talk. So thank you, Lyn, for just carrying on. So I'm so sorry.
I'm just sorry that technical issues.
Oh, I know.
If anything, I thought it would be me that had technical. Sorry.
I think it's StreamYard causing an issue with Facebook, but
oh,
what is he like, eh? So over to you, Lyn. I'm going to turn this walkie-talkie off now to stop John from messaging me. Over to you.
Okay.
Thank you for just continuing on, though, Lyn. I know I've had some technical issues for the past 20 minutes, and it seems to be all to do with my green screen. So as you can see, it's all green behind me. So if I had known, I would have put the green t-shirt on tonight.
Oh,
you still with us there, Lyn?
oh, this is.
Oh, we've all lost Lyn now.
I'll just carry on. Okay. The second outdoor was
Lyn, we've lost you there. We've lost you a bit. You can crack on it.
From the corner. Oh, I'm back.
Yes.
Am I back?
Yes.
Is that better? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I think I go too near my computer. Yeah, the second apparition I had was I saw with other people this time, thankfully. So it wasn't just myself verifying it. And this was at Woodchester Mansion. And there was about, I think if Carol's in the chat, she was with me that night. Oh, before I go on, and because I don't want to get too late, I do have to say a big shout out to SJ and Ollie, Shazzy and Steve's grandchildren. I saw them earlier on. I saw them, they had their crystals. So SJ and Ollie, you can now go to bed.
A big thank you to Steve as well, Lyn. Just big thank you to Steve as well, because he was just on the phone to me a minute ago helping me sort out some technical issues. So, but yeah, so yeah, big thank you to Steve as well.
Oh, bless him. Well done, Steve. Yeah, big thank you to Steve and Shazzy. Yeah,
that's it.
Lovely, lovely people. So Woodchester Mansion, as I said, there was about 4 or 5 of us, and we were talking in the just outside the corridor, which was just outside the base room, as we call it. I don't know whether you've ever been there before, Dan, but it's an amazing place. Half-finished Gothic mansion in Nymphsfield Road. And we were talking, and then we were looking down the corridor, and all of a sudden, we all sort of stood there and stared as this lady in what we call an off-white, really. It wasn't white. We know we say white lady, but it was a very flimsy type of long dress, almost probably lace. She literally went from the corner of the corridor right across into the middle of the corridor and into the wall and through the wall. Literally walked from one end to the other. And we just all stood there and said, we did see that, didn't we? And we said, we did. One of my friends said, I'll quickly run into the other room and see if she's come out that side of the wall. But obviously she'd gone. She had her head down. She didn't see us, didn't look at us. She looked quite not upset, but she looked quite down, like miserable. Wasn't happy. But totally didn't see us. But we saw her. Absolutely remember seeing her. We've had quite a lot of things happen at Woodchester Mansion. We've had stones thrown at us. And believe it or not, we've actually seen a stone come through a ceiling. Now, that's hard to imagine, isn't it? But I can honestly tell you, a stone came through a ceiling. A bit like, what's that film? No, not Psycho. The one with Carrie out. No, not that one either. Never mind. Something come through the ceiling, a stone anyway. I told you I'm useless. And we just ran. We just didn't know what was happening. We thought we were going to get bombarded with a load of stones, but obviously not. I also asked the spirits to come a bit close so that we could see who's there and talk to them, hopefully, etc., etc. And I was sat down in a little room next to the kitchen, and I was looking out of the window, and then as my head came back towards the door, a dark figure of a monk rushed past me. And I went, "Oh, thank you. I did say come close, but not that flipping close." So he literally shot past me. And everybody went, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. What's happening, Lyn?" So I called them, and of course it had gone then, hadn't it? So I think, so, I know that's what we go for, but I'd like everybody else to experience it. But having said that, this leads me on to my next story. Still at Woodchester Mansion, there was 28 people that night, and we were in the kitchen, and some was in the corridor. And there was my team of 4 people in the corridor, and the rest of the guests, if you like, were with me in the kitchen. We were all talking about where we were going to go to investigate, which rooms, who with, what we were going to do, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, my team came screaming in like a load of banshees, and we'd heard a growl. We also heard on audio a man shouting, "Shut up!" And everybody screamed the place down. Everybody was shaking. We caught it on 3 different EVPs, as loud as you like. And we were absolutely shocked, stunned, amazed, frightened, whatever you want to say. Very emotional time to not experience such a thing. And I was shaking, and I had to look after all these other people. Some people went to the toilet. Some went outside for a ciggy. And there was a couple that went back to the base room and would not leave the rest of the night. So, of course, there was a couple of gentlemen that said, "Oh, well, we'll sort this out. We'll stay in here and we'll sort this man out, whatever," like you do. And nothing happened. Not a thing. But it was absolutely amazing night. And just on another night around that area, there was my team out in the corridor again. And one of my friends, Jono, he said, "I'm going to go into the kitchen and see if we can see the ghost of the cook in there." Because there is a lady that's, you can even smell cooking sometimes. Although the mansion has never been lived in, apparently not fully lived in, but apparently some people have been there, and you could smell cooking as if she's cooking a nice stew or whatever. So he said, "I'm going to go in here." So I said, "Okay." So he went on in front of me. I followed him behind, and when he come running back, screaming, pushing me out the way. I guess the lady, I've seen the ghost. Look, she stood in the corner. So I hit him, calmed him down, turned him round, and pushed him back in. I said, "This is what we come for. Get back in there." He's never forgiven me to this day. And he was a gibbering wreck that night. And I literally had to calm him down. And I said, "This is what we came for, love, isn't it?" And he said, "Well, yeah, but I was in there on my own and she just stared at me." So poor old Jono. And another night, a friend of ours, Martin, he always got scratched in the kitchen on his hand or on his face. A lot of people said, "Oh, he's doing it to himself." Like we get skeptics today saying things like this. So he said, "I feel guilty now." He said, "Because I'm always being scratched and nobody else is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear some gloves. And I want people to film me to show you I'm not doing it myself." And I said, "Does it hurt?" He said, "No, I don't even feel it. All I can feel is the blood running down my face." On Facebook, I've got photos with the blood and the scratch going down his face, if anybody's interested later. And poor old Martin, he said he didn't know what it was, but he just felt the blood. And we watched him. He had gloves on, everything. The only thing we could think of it was either it was a spirit dog or a spirit cat that scratched him, possibly a dog, because he did say he played up there in the woods and that with his playmates when he was younger, and they used to tease a dog that was up there, so it could well be the dog getting his own back. But also we tried to use what he had was an earpiece in, and it had quite a high pitched volume. So he did tell me that lots of earpieces, they're all different ranges, frequencies, whatever. So it could have been that made the spirit animal agitated and scratched him as if to say, shut that off. Don't know, do we? So he took it out, and well, we asked him to take it out, give it somebody else to try. He said, yeah, but I won't hear you then. I said, no, it won't be long. So he did, but it didn't work because obviously it was only fitted for him and not this other person. So it didn't work. And it only ever happened to him every time. I think he must have been about 7 times with me. And every time he was scratched, either on the hand or on the face. So work that one out. We have no idea. And we also did another investigation where we were talking about the dog. We walked from the base room along the corridors to the kitchen, and when we came out, there was a stick on the floor.
Well,
almost like
funnily enough,
dog
Lyn,
brought a stick in.
Funnily
It was
enough,
not there when we went in. Sorry?
the one night I was there,
Yeah.
I had an investigation there with my old team, and we had a medium with us that was there for the night, and we were in the kitchen, and he stood there and he said to us, he said, I'm hearing what sounds like the claws of a dog walking along the blockwork, the flooring and that, you know. He said, I'm hearing that.
Yeah.
But literally about 3-4 minutes later, you know, the caretaker who lives on site, he just walked straight downstairs with his 2 dogs.
Yes, they've had a few caretakers.
Yeah. You know, the ones that live on site at the moment. He just walked straight downstairs with 2 dogs, walked straight through the kitchen, through the middle of us, didn't say a word to us whatsoever. And it was just a bit weird, the fact that, you know, it literally happened a couple of minutes after in that same area when you're saying about the dog.
Yeah. Strange, isn't it? Really weird. So. But thinking of something else there, I forgot now.
Very quickly, Tony Cherise just said, Dan, can you say to Lyn that I've been scratched plenty of times at my mum's and in my own place?
Oh, has she?
Yeah.
Is that he or she? Sorry.
She.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What, recently?
Judging by that, I would imagine it's probably over a period of time.
Yeah. Would it be an aggressive scratch or just a friendly pawing scratch?
I wonder. Have to check that with her.
We do know. Yeah, we do know spirit animals do come back. My pets have come back. Absolutely. Grumpy, my husband, he doesn't even believe in it. But we were led in bed one night, and we heard the 2 dogs that just lost the 2 dogs. One had a tumor and the other one died of a broken heart because his sister died. But we heard them run up the stairs like they always did. And even he said, that's like Bonnie and Ben. And I thought, well, there you go. You don't believe. But what have you just said then? Nah. So there is a few things that, you know, you can't escape from.
Exactly. Woodchester Mansion's amazing.
You want to say something?
Yeah, Woodchester Mansion's amazing.
Amazing. Amazing.
I've covered for...
I mean, I could talk about... Sorry?
Just saying, I've covered for Chris there before.
Do what?
I've covered...
Chris,
I've opened up for Chris before, Yeah,
I know Chris Howley very well, and Team Impact.
Oh, yes.
They're all lovely. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I could talk Woodchester Mansion all night. It's so active there. It's never let us down. It's never let us down.
I mean, one of your favourite places I know is the one of your favourite places I know is the New Inn or the Dick Whittington, isn't it?
Yes, I was just going to talk about them. You led into that very well.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. I'll
Before
tell
we
you
go into
later.
that though, Tony's just
Yes,
come back. She's been scratched recently on her leg, and it's like so on her leg, and when she was at her mum's, she had scratches on her chest and on her belly at the time.
okay. So it's
And
a spirit animal that she once had.
possibly. Paul Brenton has also said, Dan, I got scratched in my house on the back. Then a couple of minutes later, they were gone. I didn't even feel them. His partner said, where did they come from, as they weren't there a minute ago.
Yeah, I've heard this a lot. They do interact with us in the only way they know how. It could be a cat, it could be a dog. But definitely. Oh, thank you, John. Everyone from Sixth Sense sends their love. Mwah. Thank you very much. Yeah, so yeah, definitely animals do come back. I know they do. In fact, this is weird. It's a bit off. It's a bit off of what I was going to say, but my dog that I've got now, Bella, she's 15 months old, and she's a cross between a German Shepherd and a Collie, and a rescue dog from Greece. And I got her because the lady I know in Greece has got the sanctuary. She went out there. She's an English lady. She went out there, saw a lot of stray animals, and she decided to get up the sanctuary. She put pictures up of the dogs that wanted to be rehomed. I saw this one, a Bella. She reminded me of the one that I'd lost. Absolutely. Apart from the brown eyebrows. So I had to have her. And when we got her home, we have since found out she a lot of traits in her that Dusty had. She lies on my dressing table at night, looking at it in the bed, looking outside. She sees things in the room. She follows me everywhere. Just little trick. And I even look at her sometimes when I don't actually see her eyebrows, her face. She reminds me of Dusty. She's definitely got Dusty's soul in her. Definitely. So they do. I think they do come back. They come back in some sort of form or some way that that you recognise them, and it's wonderful. It really is. It's
Why wouldn't
nice.
they though?
It's
Exactly.
comforting. It's comforting. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't they? So anyway, New Inn. Oh, blooming heck, where do I start with the New Inn? The things that have happened at the New Inn is unbelievable. It's a 15th century inn, and it was built by oh god, I can't even think of his flipping name now. Some monk. They did say that Anne Boleyn, Lady Jane Grey stayed there, but she actually didn't. She was proclaimed queen there. And then, of course, her lovely cousin lobbed her head off after 9 days, didn't she? So they've got a Lady Jane Grey room. In the Lady Jane Grey room, we have actually had, well, I was there after a charity night. And although I live only 10 minutes up the road in the car, when I'm asked if I'd like to sleep the night at the New Inn, red rag to a bull, of course I would. So I stayed there with my friend and her daughter and her daughter's friend. So there's 4 of us in the Lady Jane Grey room. The adults had the double bed, the girls had the single beds. Now, we had a good night. We went to bed, we slept okay. Apart from before we went out, the girls come down and said we were getting ready, and the wardrobe doors and the doors opened, and we didn't touch them. I said, okay, yeah, the room is a bit wonky, so it could be if you've been moving about, whatever. Still trying to think about logical things. And they said, no, honestly, we haven't touched it. I said, okay, we'll see what happens tonight, if anything. Anyway, we went to bed and they all went to sleep. And it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I know it was 6 o'clock because it woke me up. And I looked at the time. And I heard this very soft young male's voice by the sound of it. And he said, hello. And I thought, who the heck's this then? Has my friend brought a man in and not told me? 10 minutes later, hello. What? Who is it? I jumped up. who is it? Who's in the room here? Noticed it was light, no windows open. They were all still asleep. I thought, I have no idea who this is. What does he want? So I was like, just my eyes over the duvet. You know, the ghost lady's not supposed to be scared, but I flaming well was, even though it was light. And then 20 minutes or so later, I heard this almighty crash in the bathroom. And I thought, well, that is somebody in here. But that woke my friend up. She said, oh, Lyn, what are you doing? She said, making a row. I said, it's not me. I said, we've got a visitor. She said, well, you know who it is. It's the little girl that haunts here. I said, no, it was a young man's voice. She said, well, go and find out who it is then. Have a look in there. I said, well, can't you go? No, I can't, she said. I'm still in bed. You're awake. So I said, all right, I'll go. So I went in the bathroom, opened the door, turned the lights on. Not a soul in there. Nothing, absolutely. To tell her she'd gone back to sleep. Oh, thanks very much. Never heard any more. So I never heard any more. And I thought, well, I can't get back into bed. I'm too wound up now. And I was expecting something else to happen. So I sat there probably about an hour and a half, drinking coffee and eating the biscuits they provide you, and waiting for them to wake up. Now, thinking afterwards, I thought, why on earth did I just get up and go down early and have an early breakfast? But I felt compelled to stay in that room for some reason, in case anything else happened, I suppose. So eventually they all got up and we went down, had breakfast, and I spoke to the then manager, bearing in mind this is years ago, and he said, yes, a young man rented that room out some time ago, so I heard, before my time, he said, but he committed suicide by hanging himself in the bathroom. I went, oh my God, no. And he said, yeah, that is supposed to be what happened. And I couldn't understand. I said, well, okay, that's very, very sad. But why did he just say hello and nothing else? And I now know through the years of doing investigations that sometimes spirit just want you to talk about them. You don't even have to mention their name. Just talk about their story, what happened to them, and they seem to be happy enough. Because as far as I'm aware, nothing ever's happened in that room again, apart from this little girl. He hasn't appeared or made any sounds or anything. So it was almost like he just wanted to say hello, be answered back. I told his story, and he's happy. Isn't that wonderful?
Certainly is.
I think it's nothing major, but it was to him. That's the thing. It was to him. So, I'll always remember that. Because I think, I just don't know why he said hello. Feel from feelings of much that is exactly what he wanted. And where's this? And Andrea, oh yes, the ram. Last year, yeah.
Yeah, her hubby Matty still hasn't got over his
still
experience.
Hasn't got over the experience on the yeah. Yeah, that would. Oh, I've been to the Ram Inn about 5 or 6 times, and nothing really happened then. But I think I'm trying to remember what did happen that night, Andrea. I know it was her son tried to came up the stairs, and frightened us all. I think it was him. Oh yes, he came up the stairs, and we heard something in the next room, and I think we saw an apparition or some sort of shadow in there as well. Yeah, so that was quite spooky, and I think that's the only time that I was really spooked by the ram, or the Ram Inn. I mean, I'll reword that. So it is a strange place, but sorry to say, if anybody's a fan of it, I found Woodchester Mansion more haunted than the Ram, but that's only my experience and my opinions. I know a lot of other teams, groups, people have felt a lot more. Perhaps I wasn't meant to. I don't know, because I do know there was a lot of evil there, like incubuses, succubuses, and I don't do evil, you see. So it probably might have been that it wasn't meant for me. Everything's here for a reason. I think people actually see and hear things what they're meant to. It's the same with the readings. When I do my crystal readings, you know, I give out what they need from the angels, not always what they want. So in a roundabout way, what I'm saying is everything comes around. Everything is not coincidence. It's for a reason. And the reason being is, well, a lot of skeptics or psychics or mediums, we all have our own opinions, and we must respect that. We must respect that. But, you know, even I got to respect Grumpy's. I told him not to come in and bother me for a couple of hours. Yeah, so, you know, so the new inn is, you know, it was absolutely, it's so brilliant in there as well. And I did a radio interview one day as well. And actually it was early evening on a Sunday, and it was with Pete Wilson from Radio 2, Gloucester FM. Anyway,
Okay.
I took him around the new inn, and we went upstairs into the old attic, which nobody's allowed to go in now. And I showed him the really old stairs there that were still there from when the building was built. They were that old, you couldn't have walked on them, they'd have collapsed. But it was absolutely amazing. It was in the attic, the old brickwork up there, the old stonework, the old panels, the wood up there, cobwebs, the lot, you know, and pigeons. And they
I've
were
seen
flying
it.
around.
I've seen it.
And yeah. So I went up there with Pete, and we just went inside the door because the floor was very uneven up there. We didn't want to fall through the floorboards, which I've already done at the new inn, but that's another story. As we were coming down from there, we both looked at each other because we heard this loud steps above us. Only not footsteps, boot steps, as if somebody's wearing big, heavy boots above us. There was no ceiling above us. Nobody else in the room. Nobody going up those stairs. We both ran out of there. And you'll tell you to this day, we were spooked. And then we went up to another part of the attic of the new inn, the other end of the building. And I was so overwhelmed with what I saw because I didn't know the rooms up there existed and nobody else had been up there. And there was this really, really old door. You know, the old bolts in it? You know, like you see these castles with these really old, creaky doors. And I said, Pete, come and have a look at this door. Wow, look at this old door. And he said to me, I have never known anybody get so excited over an old door. I said, but it's old, it's historic. Nobody else has seen it. There was a few things up there that we heard as well. And there's a funny story to that, but it's a bit long. So I'll probably save that for another night because, you know, it's quite funny, but it's quite lengthy. Where else? Dick Whittington. Oh my God, the Dick Whittington.
Very quickly, before you keep jumping in and out.
Carry on.
So Phyllis Ross has just asked, I know I asked this question to everyone, but Nanny Lyn, have you done any investigating in Scotland and what did you think?
No, I haven't, I'm afraid, but I would love to. I love Scotland. Grumpy and I went to Scotland once a few years back. We went to Loch Lomond, Loch Ness, Fort William? Yeah, I think Fort William. And we loved it. But no, I haven't, I'm afraid. I would love to go back. But in all honesty, I'm not really, I mean, I'm 70 now. Don't tell anyone.
A young 70.
I haven't really got the energy or the health now to do overnighters because with my fibromyalgia, my other illnesses, it takes at least 2 or 3 days to get over a night's investigation. And also my spiritual journey, has taken me to another level. So although I've you know, I talk about the paranormal and I've wrote the books on the paranormal, that was my life. That still is to a certain degree, but I won't go anywhere where there's anything really dark, really negative. No, I can't. I just can't now because of my spiritual beliefs. But that's only me. Everybody else can do whatever they want, can't they? But you know, the Dick Whittington. Oh, there's this dark shadow of a man behind the bar, apparently, and we've done several investigations there, and people have seen him, but I've actually not seen him myself. But the ladies' toilets are supposed to be haunted as well, especially the middle one. There's always a toilet joke in there.
It's always toilets, isn't it? Yeah.
We sat in there, 10 minutes in this toilet, just sat there talking and whatever. And the friend that was with me, he said, I just feel ill. I've got to go. Really do feel ill. And he wasn't there 10 minutes and he had to go out, and then he was physically sick.
Wow.
We also did a psychic supper one night there, and the medium and another young man had to leave because they felt sick as well. And we believe it's the energy of a young girl that died in the ladies' toilets, which was then the basement or the cellar. Was in the plagues of 1604. We had May plagues, lots and lots of deaths. There was a gentleman that used to own the Dick Whittington as his house, his like his merchant's house, and he was an alderman of the city, John Taylor, and he absolutely loved dinner parties, and he would ask the mayor, he would ask all the gentries, everybody that had money, to his dinner parties, and he didn't tell them that this young servant girl was dying of the plague. Another servant of his had died of the plague, but they found out. So they disbarred him from being a councillor. They fined him £100, which was a lot of money in those days, and they boarded up the house. Unbeknownst to them, they boarded up the little girl, and she's the one that we believe still haunts the Dick Whittington. And it's a great, great shame. We also did another investigation there one night. My friend Paul.
Stop there a minute.
Yeah.
The little girls, she's seen quite a lot in the flat upstairs, isn't she?
Yes.
On those stairs that come down.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
She has been seen.
I've investigated the Dick Whittington on a few occasions, and it's certainly a great place.
Oh yeah, yeah. We did upstairs when the pub was shut. Loads of sparkly lights all around the bar. You know where you put your foot on the bar when you're standing at the bar. Loads of sparkly lights and orbs around there, as if somebody was still standing there. And somebody walked in, and two bar people at the other end of the bar said, "Oh, we'll just go and serve this gentleman that he just walked in." And by the time they got to him, he'd gone. He wasn't there. And they looked everywhere, and they knew what they saw, but he wasn't there. There was also another gentleman that used to tap 3 times on the end of the bar, and they'd know what he wanted, so they went and gave him his drink. And apparently the night before he died, he bought everybody in the pub drink.
Oh, wow.
And he actually died in the pub.
Yeah.
I think he paid his bill.
Lyn, so one of the places I've always wanted to investigate in Gloucester, because obviously it being my hometown as well, one of the places I've always wanted to investigate is the Fleece.
The Fleece?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know whether I should say this. It's a secret, really. I was on my ghost walk one night. I keep getting messages coming down and I can't see you. I can get so, but you can see me. You can't see the messages, can you?
No.
Yeah, keep coming down on my phone. Yeah, the Fleece. I went there one night, as I said. I was on my ghost walk, and there was a gentleman that had a hairdresser's in Westgate Street, but the back of his premises went into or near the Fleece. So he knew I did the ghost walks, and he came up to me and he said, "You're the ghost lady, aren't you?" And I went, "Yeah." He said, "I bet you'd like to look in the Fleece, wouldn't you?" I thought, "Wait up, what's he after?" I said, "I would love to." I said, "But I have got this party of people." And they went, "Yeah, go Lyn, go Lyn." I think it was only about 6 or 8 people that night. "Oh, okay, come on then." So he said, "I've got the key." So he took us in and we went around. And I was quite disappointed, to be honest, because I
Right.
expected it to be really old, all the old panels and everything in there. And it was very sort of 80s, where they'd, because I think it was in the 80s when they closed it, but they, like the taps, the doors, the furniture and everything in there was very sort of 80s looking. I expected it to be older, so I was quite a little bit disappointed. But then I went to, and there was some places where there was no floor, some there no ceiling, and then we went to another time. We went to the age, no, not age, British Heart Foundation,
Yeah.
which is next door to the Fleece.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, we went into there. We went down into the British Heart Foundation cellar. The cellar is the other side of the brickwork, the wall is the Fleece.
Yeah.
So we went out their back door, which was the emergency door if there was a fire, and it went into the Fleece's yard. And the front doors, obviously, the front gates were shut. So we was in the backyard of the Fleece, and we went in and we had a look around, and there was a couple of doors that weren't quite secure. That we
Good old Gloucester
we
Council, eh?
we we went in and we had a look around, and it was amazing. That was amazing. They had the restaurant part closed off, but there was some places where there was no ceiling, no doors or anything. But in the kitchen, they'd left everything, all the old chippers, the old ovens, everything. I was like, going as rusty as anything. And we felt really sort of oppressed feeling in there, as if somebody had just up and left. It was really, really weird. But as I said, we weren't supposed to be there, but we did. We were. You can't sue me now, can they? um,
You
well,
never
I
know with
suppose.
Gloucester City Council.
And we looked up at one of the windows that was at the back, and somebody said that they'd seen a lady up there, whatever. But I don't know whether you've been to the back of the Fleece
I
or
haven't.
at the top. And if you turn back on yourself, there's some windows, and we believe that was probably one of the living rooms or something for perhaps the not servants, but the staff. And then I found out that particular place belonged to the crystal shop.
Oh, yes.
And one night somebody walked from the crystal shop, broke in, walked along into that room, and literally stole the stock. So it was connected. That's what I was getting at. It was all
Yeah.
connected. But down in the British Heart Foundation cellar, it was really weird down there. We actually heard monks chanting. Didn't see anything, but we heard like monks chanting, and just the whole feeling of knowing that behind that wall was the actual monks' retreat.
Yeah.
So
Well,
on
because it's
another page,
they talk
on
about the
another,
fact that underneath Gloucester is supposed to be a lot of the monks' pass, isn't it? From the cathedral and up to the friaries, and
oh
yeah,
yes, definitely,
and a lot of it's
yeah.
flooded, though, isn't it?
It was, but they've sorted it out now. It's called the Bastion,
Wow.
and it's the Bastion, and then you've got the other side by Boots, which was the where the glass was, but
Yeah.
they've changed it now, haven't they? Yeah, I've
I don't
actually
know.
been
It's
under
been
there.
that long. I haven't been
Sorry.
home for a long time.
Oh right, yeah. We had a lot of history, and I did a tour under there. I I learned the history of that from the I think it's Nigel Twiston Davis or something like Joan, or I don't know, from the museum, and he taught me the stories of that, and how it used to be the latrine, how people used to wash in there. There's endless stories in Gloucester. There really is. I've been in the Bastion. I've got pictures of that. If anybody's interested in any of these stories, just let me know, and I more than likely got some pictures for them to have a look at.
That'd be awesome.
And it is amazing, but it was flooded for a while. It came right up past people's knees, and then they found a way to pump it through, because I've been down there, and so I know it's okay now, or it was. So amazing. And then my friend Pam Harper and Terence, they've got avant-garde hairdressers down the bottom of Westgate Street, not far from the Dick Witt.
Yeah.
They've actually got medieval cellars under there.
Wow.
And I've been under there as well. And we did an investigation under there. We caught on EVP a voice. It is a swear word, so I'm not going to say it.
Oh, say it. You're more welcome to. We're not on Paranormal.
I went down there and I said to Pam, there was a square patch of concrete that I said, there's something under here. She said, I'm not surprised. She said, Fred West built some of this. I went, what? And she said, yeah, he'd been all around here. So I said, well, I know there's children under here, and I know there's something else under here. She said, yeah, we've heard children. And when we played the EVP back, I was sat on the stairs, and then I stood on that concrete square piece. And when we got the EVP back, and my friend had recorded it as well, we both heard as clear as anything, get off my effing back. And it was, I thought, no way. But apparently the F word isn't all that modern.
No.
It was used. But it makes me think, was the body modern, if you know what I mean, more up to date than going back in time? But I know that she's got parts of it medieval, parts of it Roman, and the same as the New Inn in their cellar.
Yeah.
Parts of it medieval, parts of it Roman. Cafe Rennie. Oh my God. That's another amazing place.
Yeah.
You'll have to stop me because I could talk for England.
I love Cafe Rennie. The only time I've been into Cafe Rennie was when you had your head shaved.
Oh yeah. Oh my
God. I remember that
That's
night.
What I missed you, innit?
No. That was the Dick Whittington. I remember a slightly sloshed Nanny Lyn on some red wine, I think it was.
I don't drink anymore.
No, I know. Slightly sloshed Nanny Lyn, who was out having her head shaved, and when it started, all of a sudden, all you hear is, I can't do this. I ain't doing this.
I had to get drunk because I wouldn't have carried on.
No, I know.
My friend Dave Mason, he was the one that cut my hair.
Yeah.
And he said, you were that sloshed. He said, you kept nearly falling off the floor and had to keep pulling your back by your knickers. I went,
know.
Oh, is that how they got ripped?
That was hilarious. That was.
Yeah. They had to take the mic off me because I was shouting at everybody to pay up.
I know. I remember that night very, very well.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Now, Lyn, one of the best stories, one of the most well-known stories, we've got Tony sitting in the background. She wants to sort of tell you all about her being scratched, but one of the best well-known stories with regards to you is the New Inn and the glass.
Oh, yes. I was going to say about that. I forgot, didn't I? Because I deviated, as I do. Oh, God, yeah. We were doing a quiz. It was on a Sunday night, and I was there, and the quiz master and a couple of other people were actually part of the team that we did the investigations with. But that night, we were just having a chill-out night and a quiz. And there was 3 ladies from America, guests at the New Inn, and they were sat on a bench in the downstairs bit. You got the bar, then you got the step down into the other bar, haven't you? It's a bit like a bit of a lounge. So we sat in there, and right in the corner, there was like this old pew from the like a church pew, yeah, and nobody was sat at that table, but there was 4 people sat opposite. And then just up further from there was myself and some other people, and the 3 ladies opposite again. So that corner was completely empty of people, right? Nothing on the table, nothing. And then my friend, Gold, get it right in a minute, Sean Moore, he was a radio presenter, and he said he'll do the quiz that night. So he came in with a full pint of beer, put it on the table, and then took an empty glass that he'd drunk earlier away. He spoke to me, and you can see on this video, on the way out. And as he went out and disappeared, and as he was coming back, apparently, the 4 people that were sat opposite that table saw with their own eyes the glass move. It moved from right to left, away from them, towards the window. Then it tipped up, and we all heard the thud of the glass on the chair seat, and then onto the floor and spill all the beer. He came back moaning and cussing. Well, bloody ghosts have spilt my beer, so I got to buy another one. So anyway, they stood up and was pointing at the desk. They were pointing at the table and looking at us and saying, "Did you see that? Did you see that? We all saw that glass move." And we said, "No, we didn't see it, but we heard the thud." So we kept on and on and on about it. And Mark and Sam Cook were the managers then.
Yeah.
So we kept asking them to show. Yeah, we kept asking them to show the video, which they eventually did. And then what we saw, we just were all gobsmacked. We were amazed at what we saw. And then we had so many thousand hits on YouTube. Lots of people, as usual, said we faked it, we pushed it.
Yeah.
Now, I know that a lot of intelligent people out there, you cannot push a glass away from you with a bit of string or a bit of rope or whatever without somebody seeing it. We also had BBC Points West, or one of them gentlemen come down. They wet the table, they spilt the drink, they banged the table. It still didn't do the exact same thing as we saw. They tried everything, absolutely everything. And he said, well, yeah, we could definitely say that it didn't do that. So then I was contacted by, I can't think of his name now, the director, and Michaela Strachan. You know Michaela? Lovely, lovely lady. Yeah. And they were doing Great British Ghosts. They'd heard about this pint, and they'd heard about the new inn, and they asked me if I would show them around and talk to them about it and tell them about the pint and all the rest of it. So you can still see that, plug, Great British Ghost, Lyn Cinderey on YouTube.
Shameless.
And you can see that footage. And I still look at it today. It's very pixelated.
Yeah.
But the more I look at it, the more I can see that I'm sure there was something there. They had to stand the other side of the table to like flick the glass over. And Michaela Strachan said to me, how come it was filmed then when you were only doing a quiz? Now, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, that is a very good question. The reason is, behind us, there was a small CCTV camera.
Yeah.
And it was pointing at the table and the seat where a lady has been seen many times. And she is the lady of the nanny of the children that died in the fire in the 1800s. She's looking out into the courtyard to see if she can connect with the children again. But it didn't capture her, but it captured the pint.
Because I remember Sam and Mark used to be, they were very much into the spirit, you know, the activity that was going on in the new inn, weren't they?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they were amazing as landlord and landlady of the place, because I mean, I know that they, I know they let me in for free to investigate. So, you know, and a lot of them, it's a lot charged, don't they? So it's yeah.
Mark gave me a little office at the back.
I know. I remember.
Lady's office. It was lovely.
I remember your little office. I remember when you opened your little shop down the bottom of Westgate Street.
Oh yes, you come and did something in the meat carpet, wasn't it?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
That's
See,
right.
people. See, Dan had many talents, people.
Those of you who don't know,
So,
I've known Lyn and I have known each other for what, probably 7 or 8 years, something like that, probably.
Yes, easy. Yeah.
Something like that. So
yeah, might be a bit longer.
Yeah, well, I've only believe it or not, I only actually started investigating in 2012. So
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, not quite. It just seems longer, really, doesn't it? I've been in Wales. I've been in Wales for 3.5 years.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, oh,
yeah.
Have you been to Craigenoss in Wales?
I live the other side of the hill from it.
Oh my God, that's another story.
I'm not. I haven't been there yet. No, I haven't been there yet. But I'm about 20 minutes from Margam Castle.
I've been there.
Yeah, about 20 minutes from there. So I'm just outside of Neath. So if you know where the Neath Abbey is, the derelict abbey, yeah, not that far from there.
Yeah. I caught an apparition on the stairs in Margam.
Yeah.
And I said somebody's been pushed down these stairs, and they verified it. And then in the actual castle at Craigenoss, a nurse took me in.
Yeah. Oh, I've not. Sadly, I've not been there just yet. But when next time you come down, have a look at. You need to go and have a look at Kevin Coyd Colliery Museum. It's one you want to go and have a look at. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just it's council run colliery museum, but it's really good in terms of activity.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
I am still doing a couple.
Say again.
But not so much. So I still will do a couple that I'm interested in because I love the history more. You know, so if there's somebody with historical history, then I don't mind, and obviously go with friends. So I will still do some, but ideally, I'd like to do my spiritual stuff. But you know, the mysterious and the inquisitive in me still likes to do the paranormal.
I'm just going to bring Tony on briefly. She wants to tell you about these scratches.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Hello, Tony. You all right?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, not too bad.
Hi, Tony.
I got a little
Hi,
bit.
Lyn.
Go on, Tony.
But yeah, how to describe these scratches on my leg? It's like a L or an X sat on my leg. But they're like right close to each other. Because the like L is like the L is like pretty long. And then the X, the top of it looks really close. Dan, I'll send you a picture so you can send. Yeah, something like that. Dan, I'll send you a picture so you can send it to Lyn.
Yeah.
But when I was living at my mum's house before I moved, I was getting like 3 lines down my belly, or I'd get them down my chest here. Or I'd come round home from my mum's friends, and I'd see spirits at window.
Oh, all right. So where was your mum? Where did your mum live?
She's living in Leeds, in Seacroft.
Is this animal? Is this pets that have passed?
Say that again, Lyn. You broke up.
Have they? That you get? Yeah, you know. You said you get these scratches. Are they pets that you used to have?
I had 2 dogs and I had a cat as well that has passed over.
Okay. What was their names?
Oreo, my cat, and my 2 dogs was Lady and Hercules.
Oh, I think we might have lost Lyn briefly.
Sorry if that's my fault.
Oh no, camera. I think it's StreamYard, to be honest with you. Oh, sorry, got my co-host.
You're back, Lyn, but we can't hear you.
I think StreamYard's playing up big time tonight, to be honest, because I've frozen up as well.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, Tony.
It's all right, Dan. Because you've
Yeah.
both got black screens now, from what I can see.
Yeah.
I can hear you, but there's a black screen.
Yeah, Lyn's is coming up saying so. Unfortunately, guys, Tony, I'm going to have to drop you off a minute if that's okay, because we're going to have
that's fine, Dan.
tonight. I think StreamYard is massively playing up tonight. So, Tony, I'll speak to you soon. All right.
Yeah, that's fine, Dan.
Cheers, Bab. Guys, I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, it seems like we've lost Lyn. I think we're having a bit of an issue with regards to with StreamYard tonight. Let's just see if that changes when I change camera. There we go. So I'm not sure where Lyn's gone. I think we've lost her. So guys, it's now 9:15. I'm going to try and bring Lyn on again another night. I'm having some serious issues with regards to the stream, so I do apologize. And as I say, I'll try and rearrange to see if Lyn wants to come back on next week, and we'll go from there. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. I want to say a big thank you to Lyn for coming on and having a chat with us tonight. Let me turn this light off because it's a bit bright. Sorry for the apologies about the technical issues, and we shall see you again tomorrow night with Drew. Drew's back tomorrow night doing some mini readings, and then on Thursday I've got Mustafa from the TV show Ghost Hunters, so hopefully we won't have any technical issues there. Guys, thanks very much again for watching. Please jump over to John's page, John Sixth Sense, where Spirit Meets Science at 10 o'clock. Please go over there and have a look. And Sarah Luhelm, yeah, everyone's having them by the looks of it. I think it's massive issue. You can see I've got no green screen tonight, so just more problems, I think, StreamYard's end. So guys, see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock with Drew. If you want to pre-book your readings, jump onto the event on my page, and you can you'll find the Eventbrite booking link on there, and you can book a free of charge ticket to have a mini reading from Drew. Louise French, thanks, Dan Knight. Thank you again, guys. Luella Roberts, been great. Love hearing Nanny Lyn stories. It's been great to have Lyn on. We haven't had a proper chat, Lyn and I, for a long time. So thanks again, everybody, and see you tomorrow night. Cheers. Be safe.